What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the all-new 2020 Mercedes Benz AMG CLA35. Huge shout out and thank you to Mercedes Benz Northlake for providing this car for today's video. Definitely check out the link to their website down in the description below. They have a huge selection of all the brand new Mercedes and a ton of these AMG models, so let's get into it. And the model that we're looking at today is a 4MATIC, finished off in Mojave Silver Metallic, and has an MSRP at $53,000. The AMG 35 features a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine that cranks out 302 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. The engine is paired to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission and sends the power to all 4 wheels through the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. And with a curb weight around 3,500 pounds, you can expect to get 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. And running off a 13.5-gallon fuel tank, you can expect to get 23 miles per gallon in the city and 29 out on the highway. The overall length is 184.8 inches with a wheelbase at 107.4. The width is 78.7 and the height is 55.3 inches. The 2020 CLA is the all-new generation for this model, and then being the AMG 35, this has a lot of extra aggressive styling to it. We have a satin aluminum trim piece in the center of the grille with the large Mercedes logo, as well as an AMG badge over on the right side. You'll notice 2 parking sensors within the mesh in the upper grille, a large lower grille with a splitter in the center, and then a gloss black splitter in the lower portion of the front bumper. There's 2 more parking sensors on the farthest sides of the front bumper with some gloss black trim around them. You'll notice some sharp lines throughout the front end with a body colored chin spoiler going across the entire front bumper. And then this also features Mercedes LED headlights with LED daytime running lights in them as well. And then on the furthest sides of the front bumper, there's actually an air vent to allow air to go into the front bumper and out around the front wheels to further direct airflow. And then the whole front end flows very nicely to the hood with body contour lines in the center of the hood as well as on each side to give it a wide appearance. And the whole front end flows very nicely to give this car some road presence. Moving to the side, this features 19-inch wheels all around, finished in a 2-tone gloss black diamond cut. They're a multi-spoke design with the AMG logo on them, all wrapped in a Michelin Pilot 4S. And then this car features ventilated and drilled rotors in all 4 corners with AMG brake calipers up front. They are 6-piston calipers up front, and then you get single pistons in the rear. Along the front fender, we have the 4MATIC turbo logo, and then nice clean lines throughout the side of the vehicle, giving it a sculpted appearance. There's 1 sharp body line on the lower portion of the doors, and then this has gloss black trim around the windows, as well as gloss black mirror caps, and then body colored door handles with some chrome trim accents to them. And then moving to the roof, this has the panoramic roof, as you can see with all the glass. And then flowing back to the rear end of the car, you can see all the clean lines all around the car, just the sculpture within the vehicle. The rear taillights are sunken into the bodywork to be nice and flush. They are LED as well. This car also features a lip spoiler up top with your CLA35 logo on the right with AMG on the left side. And then the Mercedes logo in the center will pop out for your reverse camera. And then we get a gloss black lower diffuser with fins in the center, giving this an aggressive appearance. And then your dual black tip exhaust system. So there's a good look at the exterior of the CLA35 as well as some of the performance specifications. Comment down below, what do you guys think of this car? And don't forget, your comment will enter you in to win a $100 gift card at the end of the month, so definitely take advantage of that. But the AMG model definitely has some really cool designs to it. I like the more aggressive look to it, and the power, 300-something horsepower, that is pretty nice for a small vehicle. But now we're going to take a look at the interior. These AMG models now have a new key, finished off in an anodized black that has a really cool look. We go ahead and keep the vehicle locked. The mirrors fold in, and then just grabbing the door handle, the vehicle automatically unlocks, and we can get a great look at the interior. This particular spec is finished off in neve gray and black, has a really good look. We also get some aluminum accents as well as gloss black trim pieces. We have black up top with some gray stitching. The lighter gray is on the armrest with some nice padding. We have the window and mirror controls as well as the aluminum colored release handle with your lock and unlock. We have the grab handle right here, and then all of your seat controls are up top with your memory seating as well as the heated seat button. You also get some aluminum accent with ambient lighting, and then the trunk release button, Burmester audio system, and then some storage down below. We have an AMG aluminum door sill that has a great look, as well as AMG on the carpets. And then taking a look at these 2-tone seats, they have a very sporty look to them. I love all the stitching to them. Single piece backs with contrast stitching. And then up front you can grab this handle. We have a nice leg rest as well. And then moving up top to the AMG Sport steering wheel, finished off in perforated leather along the sides, flat bottom design with aluminum accents, and then black stitching all around. And then now inside the car, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and start it up. Taking a look at the steering wheel now, we have all of your cruise control settings over on the left side, and then these buttons up here will control the screen in the center. Tapping that home button and then swiping my finger left and right, we can go through everything on this main screen. And then looking at the right side of the screen, we have all of the Bluetooth and audio controls, and then these buttons right here will actually control the center screen. So hitting home button is where we are. We can easily scroll through everything on the main screen, which is really nice to see. The steering wheel itself has some cool controls, being the AMG model. Over on the left side, we can toggle traction control and on and off. It also comes up on the screen. Down below that, we can turn on and off the engine start stop feature. And then over on the right side, we can cycle this around to go into comfort, sport, Sport Plus, and then an individual mode. The driving dynamics of the car will change as well as the exhaust note. So if we're in comfort mode right now, doing a quick rev, and then going up into Sport Plus, you can hear the differences. We have steering wheel mounted paddle shifters that have a really nice look to them. All of your windshield controls and turn signals are on the left, and then your gear selectors over on the right side. Taking a look on the left side of the steering wheel, we have all of your headlight controls, your electronic park and brake, some piano black trim. You can get a little bit of a look of the ambient lighting, has a really nice look. They're also within these air vents as well. Air vents have a very premium feeling. And then we have the stitching that continues onto the dash. Two 10.3-inch LCD displays are within this system, and then there's more ambient lighting all around, which really gives this car an upscale feeling. Looking in the center, this is also a touchscreen display. We can easily see everything. If we go under the performance of the vehicle, we can see a lot of different things. We can configure the vehicle. Going under vehicle itself, we can see some data. You can see your turning angle, and then tapping these different buttons, we can go into this for your G meter on the left, acceleration and braking. Going under engine, we can see the torque split, the performance, and all the temperatures. We can also control the screen using the pad down here. This is touch sensitive with haptic feedback. And then putting the car into reverse, we just pull this up. Your backup camera comes up. We can see the guidelines on it. And as I turn the steering wheel, that changes as well. And then if we click the button over here, that goes to a 3/4 view, so you can see a really good view around the vehicle. And then below the screen, we have 3 more air vents with the ambient lighting and the piano black. All the climate control settings are down below here, dual zone climate control. By just toggling some of these buttons up and down, you can control your airflow, make that go up and down, it comes up on the screen. And then your menu button right here, if you tap that, it comes up on the screen as well. So I like how you can use this on the actual touchscreen display, change all your different zones and your temperatures, or you can just use the manual buttons down here, turning things on and off. And below all that, we have a lot of storage right here. You can fit a lot of items. We have some lighting in there. We have a USB on the left side and then a 12-volt on the right. And then right here are your cup holders. You can press these. These will open up for different size cups. And then we have the touchpad right here. Changing the dynamic button right here, you can toggle this up and down. Beneath that, we have a button right here for your car. That'll go into a lot of the safety features within the vehicle. And then tapping the star button right here, we can go into a lot of the setup within the vehicle. And then over on the right side, we have the volume on off, your navigation, radio, and then a telephone. And then we have a manual mode right here to toggle the vehicle in automatic and manual, and then traction control. And then tapping this button right here, the center armrest opens up. We have a little bit of space in here as well as a USB, so definitely pretty usable. And I like how these do open and close separately, so your driver can still have their armrest and the passenger has access. Finished off in black leather with the stitching. And then over on the right side, if we open up the glove box, we have quite a lot of space in there, which is nice to see. And then one last look at the interior. I love all the contours in it, the two-tone interior and all the ambient lighting. Definitely a very sporty appearance. And then if we make our way up top, you can see the panoramic roof with the sunshade. Just pulling this icon back, the whole sunshade will fold back. And then we have all your dome lights up above. And then pressing this button in the center, the glass will open up. And then to now take a look at the rear seat space, we can open up the door. You will notice these are pillarless doors, which have a very sporty look. And then the same two-tone design on the door panel. Moving our way inside, we have the same two-tone interior. The black and the gray has a very nice look, and even the headrests look very similar to the front seats. And then stepping in the back of the CLA, I have the driver's seat set to my height, which is 5'11". We'll go ahead and close the door. So sitting back here now, the armrest is in a really good spot. It's actually very large. You have a lot of room for your arm. You have a lot of glass to look out of. It is that low slung coupe appearance, so it is a little bit lower down here, but nonetheless, you still have a lot of visibility. The panoramic roof is a really nice feature as well. But sitting back here now, I have quite a lot of legroom and footroom, a few inches in front of my knees. My feet fit nicely underneath the seat, and then my head even actually has a lot of room. For being that low-slung coupe look to it, I'm actually surprised where there is headroom in here. And then taking a look at the rest of the rear seats, if we grab this right here, we can pull this down. We have a nice armrest here, And then pulling these open, we have 2 cup holders as well. And then as far as amenities go for the rear, we have the same type of air vents right here for the rear. And then opening that up, we have 2 USBs and a little bit of storage. And then there is a storage net right here. And now to take a look at the trunk space, you can press the button on the interior or just press the button on the key fob. The trunk will pop right open. We have quite a lot of space in the back of this car, very squared off to really maximize the usable cargo space. And then it goes down pretty low to where you actually have a lot of space. And then pulling these handles right here, that'll actually unpop the rear seats. And with those seats folded down, you can see just how much more space we have in the back of this car. Really opens it up to make this a usable vehicle. The seats fold down nice and flat, and then this opening is very large as well, so you can definitely fit some large items in the back of the CLA. Alright guys, so we are now in the CLA35 AMG. Now I've driven the normal CLA250, which is the base model vehicle that this car is based off of, but with this car being one of the AMG models, this has a lot of cool features to it. And one thing really cool, before we really get into the driving, the sport mode buttons that are on the steering wheel, if you actually even just tap the screen, the one on the right will go right into individual mode, and then the one on the left actually controls 3 different icons. So right now it has traction control and then the engine start-stop feature. If you just tap the top or the bottom, that will now turn that one into the manual versus drive logo. So right now I can toggle manual and automatic, and if I tap either the top or the bottom, it'll now go into the other menu that wasn't being used. So I like how you can control a lot of the car on just the steering wheel, which is really cool. And then of course you do have the driving modes down below. So I like the redundancy you get in Mercedes, because not everybody wants to use these, not everybody wants to use these buttons down here. So I like how you have all that. But we're right now in comfort mode, just the conservative driving mode that this vehicle comes in. The normal driving in the car, it's comfortable and quiet for being more of an AMG version. Nothing's too harsh or anything like that. Visibility over your left and right shoulder do a really good job as well. It's very easy to see around this car. And then as far as wind noise and road noise and stuff like that, it's super isolated. It's very comfortable feeling. And it drives like a Mercedes. It's comfortable and smooth, and I like the fit and finish. Mercedes is killing it as far as a premium, luxurious feeling interior. This one is definitely a step up comparing it to the 250. The steering wheel, being the AMG wheel, is really nice to feel. I love the perforated leather. It has really good notches for your hands, and then the flat bottom design and all the aluminum accents is a really cool touch. The ambient lighting you get to see, and then the aluminum, and then especially this two-tone interior. I'm definitely a really big fan of this overall interior spec. But now we're going to put it into the more fun modes. We'll go into Sport Plus mode, and then we can go into manual mode right there. Shift using these steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. The engine has a really cool tone to it. You can definitely hear it. Just giving it a little bit of gas. Wow. You can feel the torque and the power with this car, and that is barely even flooring it, staying under 4,000 RPM. And I heard a little bit of a pop on the acceleration, so we're going to have to do another bit of an acceleration. But as far as the performance driving, it feels really good. It actually feels very nimble. The steering is nice and heavy. I feel very controlled with what I'm doing and what the car is doing. This is a smaller vehicle, which I like smaller sedans like this just because they don't have too much weight. But just driving it now, oh man, that popped like crazy. But taking a tight turn, the all-wheel drive. Wow, that's got a lot of torque and a lot of power. That is impressive. And I believe the 45 has closer to 400 horsepower or something. But even with this, with 300 something horsepower, that is very adequate for the car. And it actually feels like a good performance car, and it doesn't break the bank. It's a nice, smaller, nimble to drive, easy to navigate vehicle. It's a car that is easy to park and just easy to maneuver around town. But I like how being in the Sport Plus mode with manual, it has a lot of the fun performance aspects that an AMG car is going to have. And that exhaust, this is a 4-cylinder, and it sounds really good. You get some pops back there. In this car, you have those massive brakes up front. They do a really good job stopping this car. So we'll do a small acceleration. I love the rev matching too, but a small acceleration. Wow. Man, every single upshift, it just pops you into gear. And then coming into a quicker turn again. Man. I love how also being all-wheel drive, you can just feel the front end pulling you where to go, but being it has the rear wheel drive as well, it doesn't torque steer or anything like that, like some front wheel drive cars with this kind of power would do. It feels very balanced. And even taking some quicker turns, there is no body roll in this car. The suspension is absorbing the bumps very nicely, but it's also giving me feedback. Man. I'm loving this. I've always liked this CLA in general, just because it looks like a coupe. It just has that really classy style, but being so much smaller than the CLS would be or anything bigger, you know, it's something that just handles well. Man. That 4-cylinder sounds so good. I would not expect a 4-cylinder to have that kind of sound. That is really impressive. And then just finishing up, we'll do one last downshift and then a nice sharp turn. Wow. Man, this is one heck of a car. I can't even imagine the next step up in performance. But I think that is about going to wrap it up for the Mercedes Benz CLA AMG 35. This thing is one heck of a car. It has a lot to offer. I like it. It sounds good. It's fun. I can't imagine actually flooring it, you know, really bringing out this engine, seeing what it has to offer. But ride quality is really good. Everything is pretty awesome with this car. So once again, huge shout out and thank you to Mercedes Benz Northlake for providing this Mercedes for today's video. Definitely check out the link to their website down in the description below. They get a ton of the AMG cars, a really huge selection of all the brand new Mercedes, so definitely check them out. Don't forget to leave a comment on today's video for a chance to win a $100 gift card at the end of the month, so definitely take advantage of that. But that is it, guys. I'll see you guys next video.